or agenda to prejudge the issue.
Roe versus Wade is an important precedent of the Supreme Court. It was decided in 1973. It has been challenged on a number of occasions, and the Supreme Court has reaffirmed the decision. When a decision is challenged and it is reaffirmed, that strengthens its value.
Roe versus Wade, decided in 1973, is a precedent of the United States Supreme Court. It has been reaffirmed, so a good judge will consider it as precedent of the United States Supreme Court, worthy as treatment of precedent like any other.
As a judge, it is an important precedent of the Supreme Court. By it, I mean Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey. Been reaffirmed many times. Casey is precedent on precedent.
I do not believe that Brett Kavanaugh will overturn.
Precedents are overturned all the time.
They aren't overturned all the time. He views precedent not just as a legal doctrine, but as rooted in our Constitution.
Neil Gorsuch, for whom you voted, don't you think he's probably going to vote to overturn Roe versus Wade if given the chance?
I actually don't.
Roe is not a super precedent because calls for its overruling have never ceased, but that doesn't mean that Roe should be overruled.
Hello everyone, it's QueenVLionz back to you with another video. This video pertains to the unfortunate tragedy of Adriana Smith, who was a mother, a child, and registered nurse. Before I begin, I would like to send my condolences and support to the Smith family at this time as you are navigating the next steps for your daughter. It has been reported that Adriana Smith, who is a mother and soon to be mother, was declared brain dead, meaning she's legally no longer here for more than 90 days. But the family is forced to keep her alive due to a state ban on abortion. This unfortunate incident occurred in Georgia. Her mother, April Newkirk, is informing the public of how this experience is torture for the family. In early February, Adriana Smith started experiencing intense headaches. She was about 9 weeks pregnant, so she visited a local hospital because the symptoms were enough to know something was wrong. They gave her some meds, but they didn't do any tests. No CT scans, according to Adriana Smith's mother, April Newkirk, as she told 11 Alive News. If they had done that or kept her overnight, they would have caught it. It could have been prevented. The following morning, Newkirk stated Smith's partner found her gasping for air in her sleep, making gurgling noises, which they believe was due to blood. Adriana Smith was then rushed to the hospital. A CT scan later would reveal multiple blood clots in her brain. Doctors were planning to go into surgery, but it was too late. They declared Adriana Smith was brain dead. Now, due to Georgia's state abortion ban, they are keeping her on life support. She's been breathing through machines for more than 90 days. Newkirk stated, "It's torture for me. I see my daughter breathing, but she's not there. And her son, I bring him to see her." Newkirk stated, "It's been heartbreaking seeing her grandson believe his mother is just sleeping." Georgia enacted a ban on abortion after 6 weeks following the 2022 overturning of Roe v. Wade. According to law, no abortion shall be performed if the unborn child has a detectable human heartbeat, except in the event of a medical emergency or medically futile pregnancy. In the state, medical emergency is defined as a condition in which an abortion is necessary in order to prevent the death of the pregnant woman or the substantial and irreversible physical impact or major bodily function of the pregnant woman. However, Adriana Smith's case is considered a legal gray area, and doctors reportedly told her family that because she is brain dead and no longer considered at risk, they are legally required to maintain life. Support until the fetus reaches viability. Newkirk stated they were told that the doctors are not legally allowed to consider other options. "I think every woman should have the right to make their own decision," she stated. "And if not, then their partner or their parents." Newkirk emphasized that they don't know if they would have chosen to end her daughter's pregnancy, but not given the choice makes the experience more painful. "She's pregnant with my grandson, but he may be blind, may not be able to walk, may not survive once he's born," she told the outlet. "This decision should have been left to us. Now we're left wondering what kind of life he'll have, and we're going to be the ones raising him." Newkirk stated, Adriana Smith is currently 21 weeks pregnant, and doctors are planning to keep her alive until 32 weeks when the baby can survive the womb. They're hoping to get the baby to at least 32 weeks, she stated. "But every day that goes by, it's more costs, more trauma, more questions." Georgia's abortion ban has been in the spotlight before. As previously reported, ProPublica last year reported that 2 Georgia women transitioned after not given proper medical treatment for complications from taking abortion pills. Once the stories of Amber Thurman and Candi Miller entered mainstream media, Georgia's top health official dismissed the committee members which investigated the pregnancy-related unalivings. Again, sending condolences to the Smith Newkirk families as you are grieving the loss of your child, your mother, your loved one at this time. The reoccurring word that I've seen throughout this report is preventable. It could have been prevented. Once again, persons were not doing their due diligence. Adriana Smith is a registered nurse. She's having severe headaches. She goes to the hospital. Instead of doing CT scans, they gave her medicine. Only for the very next day, she's gargling blood. Allegedly, Adriana Smith was advocating for herself. She knew something was off, and instead of the hospital, a system in which she understands pain management, gives her medicine instead of doing tests. It was revealed later on that she was having blood clots in her brain. The doctors were set to do surgery, but could not because she's now legally no longer here. And instead of giving the family grace by allowing the family to properly bury their daughter, they have the audacity to tell the family it's out of their hands because of state law, because of the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Do you understand how painful it is for this family, knowing that Adriana is no longer here? A machine is literally keeping her alive. They do not have the choice in grieving their daughter properly because of a state law, because persons were not taking the election cycle seriously. Persons sat out of elections, and now persons such as Adriana Smith is paying the price for your inaction. For every action, there's a reaction. And for every inaction, you are placing harm onto someone else whom you do not know. And here we are once again. Another black mother harmed because persons were not paying attention. Now you will watch this brief flashback, and I will be back with my commentary. Ohio charged Brittany Watts for having a miscarriage, and it was a grand jury who declined to press charges on Miss Watts earlier this year. And let's not forget how a 10-year-old child of Ohio had to flee the state to get medical care, in which grown men accused this baby and her family of lying about this traumatic event. And let us not forget about the 12-year-old child in Mississippi who was violated and had to carry a child by the age of 13. Let's not have amnesia right now. And let us not forget Nancy Davis of Louisiana, who was denied of getting health care because the state that she was living in told her she had to carry her baby, knowing that this baby was going to transition within hours and even days after giving birth. Nancy Davis had to leave her state in order to get the health care that she needed. We are literally witnessing the unalivings of black mothers in real time. regardless of their educational background or career or marital status. It should be our responsibility to advocating for our loved ones when they are unable to advocating for themselves. We inform the public that they have a choice, in which we do. But what if that choice comes at a cost of someone else's life? Are we willing to have their blood on our hands when we do not respond, when we refuse not to vote, when we vote for persons who are actively trying to remove us in more ways than one? When are we going to listen to Black mothers, believe Black mothers, advocate for Black mothers, known and unknown? Say their names, say her name, Adriana Smith. Silence is no longer an option. Wake up, America. And as always, please be safe out here, and I will see you in the next video.